And Madam Secretary, we're glad to have you too.
Thank you, sir.
There is a famous movie called The Wizard of Oz, and in The Wizard of Oz there is a great line. Dorothy, at some point in the movie, turns to her little dog Toto and says, "Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore." Well, Madam Secretary, while you're from Kansas, we're not in Kansas anymore. Some might say that we are actually in the Wizard of Oz land, given the parallel universes we appear to be habitating. Mr. Waxman and most of those on the Democrat side think things are great. You apparently, although you did apologize and you have said it's a debacle, you also seem to think that the Affordable Care Act is great. Well, myself and others have a different view. Ultimately, the American people will decide. Now, last week, when the contractors were here, I focused my attention on the apparent lack of privacy in the website. If we'll put up the first slide that I had last week, if we can. This is what's public, Madam Secretary, and it's basically a disclaimer that says that any unauthorized attempt to upload information or change information on the website is prohibited. It really doesn't say anything about privacy, but you do have to accept that in order to go forward with the application. The next slide shows what's not public. This is in the source code. We tried to determine this morning if it was still in the source code, but has been pointed out the website's down. This is much more what I would say frightening to me. It says you have no reasonable expectation of privacy regarding any communication or data transiting or stored on the information system at any time and for any lawful government purpose. The government may monitor, intercept, search, and seize any communication or data transiting or stored on the information system. Any communication or data transiting or stored on this information system may be disclosed or used for any lawful government purpose. Cheryl Campbell of CGI Federal said she was aware of it, but said that it wasn't her responsibility to put that in the source code. Were you aware of it, and was it your responsibility to put this in the source code?
Mr. Barton, I did not put things in the source code. I can tell you it's my understanding that that is boilerplate language that should not have been in this particular contract because there are the highest security standards are in place and people have every right to expect privacy.
All right. Now, the last time we could check, this was still there. You're given almost unlimited authority under the Affordable Care Act to administer it. Will you commit to the committee and to the American people that, one, you do want to protect their privacy, and two, you will take this out, fix it, make sure that it doesn't have bearing on people that try to apply through the website?
Yes, sir, and we have had those discussions with CGI, and it is underway. I do absolutely commit to protecting the privacy of the American public, and we have asked them to remove that statement. It is there in error. It needs to be taken down, and we should be held accountable for protecting privacy. Yes,
well,
sir.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. I sincerely appreciate that, and I'm sure the American people do too. My last question, or it's really a comment, I've introduced H.R. 3348, which says let's make this system voluntary for the first year since we're having so many problems, and let the American people decide. What that means is if people choose not to participate, they would not be charged the penalty for non-participation. Would you support such a reasonable approach to this while we work out the problems in the system?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, that's an honest answer.
Gentleman's time has expired.